wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? This country would grind to a halt and no a thing would grow if it wasn't for the workers in their wellies. Wellies, they're wonderful, oh wellies, they're swell. If it wasn't for your wellies.
We have a bonus episode for you today. There is so much going on where our 2 sheds are absolutely flying up. We are so delighted. We've some big news on the Duetz Fair. Come along and enjoy the ride.
Tuesday the 4th of November, heading up the road into New Holland, bringing up the remainder of this half-ton bag of meal to top up the meal bin with honey and the heifers. They need a fresh break of grass, so we'll get that sorted out after lunch. Driving it on. So our meal hopper was nearly empty. Interested audience, the molasses in the bag is making it stick. Here we go. These JFC meal bins are super handy, but unfortunately they don't hold the full 1 ton of meal. So I have been feeding the dairy heifer calves at home out of that half-ton bag. Well, it's not a half-ton bag, it's over half a ton. Anyway, tub topped up for the heifers and honey. We'll give them some now.
We are in our local ag store, Quinns of Baltinglass. Joe is getting water fittings for a first pipe in the yard, as happens with building sites. That's not for it. What's that for? Loco? Yeah. I know, because I assembled one in college last year with great difficulty.
I feel like an evil villain with my biggest clothes, like a big long cape.
I've just collected the girls from school and we wanted to come and see the progress. There's so much happening in this swamp that is our building site at the moment.
Oh god, it's been raining a lot.
So as well as the cubicle shed, we're also building a calf shed, which we didn't think was in the pipeline for years, but we just applied for the finance and we got it. So here we are.
It looks so cool.
Yeah, it's unreal. So
excited.
You're so excited. It's gonna make carving so much easier, having it right here beside the parlour, not having to wheel stuff up and down that hill anymore.
When they're done milking, they can just walk over there.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
It's
gonna be unreal.
So much fun.
So Myrna, that's called shuttering, and then they piped the concrete into it. He was over in the old calf shed over there with Joe, organising the shuttering to pour the concrete wall in there.
It's not going to be long until this new shed's going to start looking like that.
Yeah, full of straw and calves. These are flying, flipping hell. When this be finished? I don't know, about a week I'd say. A couple of days, they're absolutely flying. I'll bring you over now and show you.
Come on, let's go on.
Yeah. So we were discussing the internal... We were discussing the internal layout, myself and Joe. What we were going to do. So the starter pen is going to be here, and then we're going to have 4 other pens along there. The automatic feeder, and then this is going to be the passageway for storage for the pallet of milk powder, etc. He had ear protection on. Right, come on. We walk through the swamp. I'm telling you, we're counting down the days until all the work is done and everyone's out of the yard. Just us, our new sheds, not machinery, and you can scrape everything and not have it so messy.
I'm more excited about the big shed. Oh my god. It looks so cool. I didn't know that they had this much done.
Verna hasn't been down here in 2 weeks. That is Ronan himself. Ronan Kelly Farm Services. Look at the work they're doing. Unreal. Speedy, speedy. Joe actually had notions that he was going to fit the shed out himself. I was like, will you stop? You're going to save no money and it'll take you about 6 months. Sure, like you are just pros at it. It's unreal.
You're busy enough if you're only thing that.
Yeah, sure he doesn't have time, yeah. So fast though. You're obviously used to doing it. Professional installation. He was trying to tell me a cow brush yesterday. No, well I won't do it with more money. A cow brush. You know, like a rotating cow brush. These are the feed barrier gates. So we were originally getting the diagonal feed barriers. I really wanted these ones because, as much as Joe says, when we have more money we could take the diagonal barriers out and fit these in. Reality is, once the diagonal are in, they were never going to come out. So it was a price of €6,000 for the diagonal barriers, or 16 for the head locking barriers. So I went through the budget last week, typed it all up in Excel, and we made it stretch and made it work. So there will be no cow brush, but they're like for the cow's comfort.
I might take them off. That looks so cool.
Pose an interesting question that typically asks something of us when we're asking something else. Take a listen.
Isn't it just unreal? I love that little JCB. The mats are lovely even to walk on. When the dogs were down here in Myrna, they kept walking on them rather than the concrete.
It's like squishy.
Yeah. Now here, you hold my hand in case machines are anything.
Conversation. Like if I see someone in like a supermarket, I'm like,
What's this going to be?
It's where the water trucks are going to be. And I presume it's curved so that any leakage or pee while their cows are standing up there will slope down here to where Daddy's scraping it, which is very smart. Me and Daddy were only talking with this and I was like, oh, that'll be having to go out with the hand scraper all the time, but it's a good idea, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's a great idea, having it sloped.
What's that?
The great idea, having it sloped.
Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah, because he showed me a picture of the feed trucks and how they'd be, and I was like, oh, we have to get out with a hand scraper. That's going to be a dirt collecting area. It's a brilliant idea, yeah. No water, yeah, good. Was that wet?
No,
just I thought it was, I was like after walking on it, sorry.
He's like, Mom, that's what,
Cool.
how is there water in the shed if like the shed is all that?
It was driving in, the wind was just driving in here. But it was only a little bit and that felt like glassy. But when we're scraping it every day, we might have to get a cover there at some stage if the rain is always falling in that way. And there's the milking parlour. So after all this is done, the next bit is the drafting gate has been moved and all these gates are being moved. We're in negotiations with Pearson's, getting all that sorted out, applying for grants, etc.
That wall is so dirty compared to those little walls.
Yeah, well, it's all green moss from all the trees.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird because they are two balls that are so clean. Mom, I love this.
That's the brush he was trying to tell me. If you want speedy installation, Ronan Kelly is your man. I think Ronan Kelly is going to get stuck in his van. So they're nearly finished them cubicles, and then it's just the feed barriers on the gates.
And the wall.
What do you mean? They are the walls. See those feed barriers? They're putting them along here. So we'll have the calf shed, the parlour, cow shed. That's whose idea it was to design it like that. Me, obviously. Blow me own trumpet. Oh my gosh, all that war. Yeah, so the feed barriers will go in between there.
can't wait for it to be finished.
Any day now.
It's must be in like, not even a week. I said it's going to be less than a week. Nah. Is that when like the tractors look at gone?
We better go before we're getting their way with the machine. We'll wait till he's finished there now. It's so noisy in here, isn't it? I wonder if the mic's picking us up. The next part of the build after all this is installing steps on that slope. I've been busy.
How's the tractor supposed to drive up the steps?
Yeah, I've been busy researching the steps and the width they should be and everything. So probably widen that to make a ramp for the tractor. Or I was looking at the passage that we've made up there. A new laneway for the cows walking all last summer while the build is going on. To maybe keep that as permanent. I don't think Joe agrees. We'll just see how.
Man.
Yeah, me should draw it out.
Man, was it all after that?
Yeah, it was all the thorny field, yeah.
Yeah. But look at how good. Mom, how do you think it smells like cinnamon?
Daddy.
Yeah, definitely him.
Well, I think I'm most excited for the calf shed, but he's most excited for this.
Yeah.
Well, this one is probably going to be the most life-changing.
Mine feel very like hashtag.
Oh, there's a load of crushed concrete going in. They've been doing, there's been concrete lorries in and out all day doing the calf shed, and I presume pouring more concrete down that end of the shed. Myrna, I was saying, do you remember when you were all really little and when we poured the milking powder and you came down on your scooters and bikes and went down? And now you're all grown up and no one wants to do it. And we have the garden tarmac now, so.
Yeah. But Mom, only if that wasn't dry, we could have done the thing like we put our hands with
Well, we could still do it down there, but, you know.
No, I don't think we're going to do it.
Right, come on and we walk around the other way, out their way. You look so funny, Myrna. Myrna, just walk away from the van in case something falls on. It'll be covered in concrete. But it probably won't all be covered in concrete. It'll be crushed down and stones put on top of it. That's Ronan's son, I forget his name now. So as soon as the cows are dry, we to take apart the collection yard and we're moving the gate around to meet the feed passage and moving those gates over there so the cows can walk out with whatever in there. Yeah, I think I want to create a curb around as well so that when you're scraping the yard or anything, nothing gets pushed out. But we'll see how we go. So our calf shed is being abandoned. So this will be the fourth retrofit of the shed from a old style cubicle calf shed, from the individual pens then to 10 calf group pens and then to the automatic feeder pen. So this is the calf shed that Joe's parents built in the 80s. It had individual pens. The first thing Joe did when he took over the farm was to knock the individual pens, took off the roof, poured some new walls and put a tank in. And then of course he was working on his own, didn't get it finished in time. Himself and his dad and Uncle Paddy concrete the floor and we got it finished. When I say we, I mean Joe. This is the way we had to set up then. They were in groups of 10. As they got older and the cows stopped calving, they moved over to the other side of the shed where the cows had calved down and we had them on that wagon feeder. Joe got a barrier made so that we could just reverse the feeder with the tractor right right into this round gate, so it was really handy. We only sold this feeder last year to a neighbour. And then 2 years ago, we progressed onto an automatic calf feeder because finances, we had just built a milking parlour and didn't look like we were going to be building a new calf shed anytime soon. So we retrofitted our current maternity shed / calf shed, and we have made do. Now Joe today has to, or tomorrow, really soon anyway, has to uninstall all these, drag them over here out of the way because we're pouring a concrete wall here with Clive tomorrow or the next day. So this shed is the maternity shed that joined into the calf shed, and now, as we don't need it for calf shed anymore, it's going to be one big, huge straw maternity shed. We have to move around the internals, move feed barriers, etc. Get them through Ronan. Clive is pouring the concrete wall. And then this shed is going to be a dung store and will flow into the tank. So we're very, very excited. I just swung back after dropping fuel to football. Clive is this is the back of the milking parlour, back of the sheds, flattening down the filling before they pour concrete on everything tomorrow. It's really crap view. I'm not getting out. It's too mucky. I don't have my wellies. And then he moved up to the opposite end of the shed where the water lake pond had formed over the weekend, and he was getting that ready for concrete as well. Meanwhile, Ronan Kelly Farm Services were busy installing the first headlock and feed barrier and 2 or 3 of the internal gates.
It's just 5 o'clock on Tuesday evening. I've made the executive decision not to milk the cows this evening. Come on, girls. Come on. Come on, girls. Come on. Come on. Good girl, 70. Good girl. That's the job. Lead them on. Come on. Good girl. No. Come on, girl. Come on. Okay, normally they come storming out. What's going on? Come on, girls. There you go. Yeah, the entrance into the yard has been changed around a bit and stuff. The boys are just finished up there now, so by the time I get myself all organised, the lads are still working in the shed, Ronan Kelly Farm Services. Yeah, so the ladies that have been out are staying out. They're going on to a fresh break of grass for the night, and the ladies that are in the shed are staying in. So I'll have time in the morning. I'm in the yard on my own, and we'll get gates set up and wires set up that can come in and out just for a few days while the lads are getting ready to pour concrete in front of the slatted tank in the new shed. Obviously it's there right next to the collecting yard, so they were changing access and leveling off ground and stuff there today. So that's where we are. Morning everybody. Wednesday morning, just about 8:15. So let's show you how we're getting on with the sheds. It'd help if there we go. So hanging gates. This is our gate to close the cows into the shed. It'll open back along the slatted tank here. Then when they're exiting out into the collecting yard, going for milking. One of the more exciting things to see is our first set of locking barriers are up. They look absolutely savage. So our girders are wide enough for the 7 space locking barrier. So it's hung either side, bolted into the pillar down there and up top. They're supported in the middle in here. Just a little lip bolted into the feed wall. And they look good. And this is a vital piece of equipment here, this piece of rubber. So when you close it over. It's not in the locking position now, but when you close it over, they don't bang. Some other designs don't have that piece of rubber, and all you can hear is clink, 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 and very annoying. So yeah, they're up. More of them going to be installed today. All our cubicles are in. The whole way down, and over on the far side. Oh, hang on, we'll go the other way. Over on the far side. So the lads have one full wall poured on the calf shed. That's just right beside the parlour. So they'll be stripping off the panels today and moving around to the other side and to the back wall. So my head is spinning, the progress is going. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. So it's about 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. On the New Holland now, going getting the bucket on so I can give in or push in the silage a little bit and give in beat to the cows that are in. We're off farm for a couple of hours this morning. Then my 711, her car has to go back to the garage in Carlow to some factory recall thing or something on it, so we get that sorted out, and then we have to get a few bits and bobs for the build. We need to get a slurry pipe fitting for our 6-inch sewer pipe that's in the ground, you know, so we can pump our slurry down around the side of the tank and in through the sidewall. If you remember from videos ages ago, Clive advised it just to help with the agitation of the tank because our tank is so long. So it was a fantastic idea. So we just need to get a fitting now that'll sit down into the top of the 6-inch pipe, be sealed off and secured in with secured in with cement, and a manhole cover to go on top of that. So we have to get them this morning. So we're going to be off farm for a couple of hours. So obviously I milked earlier again this morning because we only milked once a day yesterday. So half the cows are gone out. They're back up to the line kill there now. We'll close them in on the way home. The other half are in, so pushed up their silage, and then we get away for a few hours, get our few bits and bobs done and get back. I was working late last night because at Clive we have asked them to put in an extra wall in the old maternity shed, where the calf feeders were. The idea being that we can have that shed either to store dung that we clear out of the maternity shed, or it'll be just like a dry shed basically. I had to work late last night, sorry, I'm concentrating on what I'm doing here and trying to talk to you at the same time. So I had to remove the 3 feeding stations and the pipes that were on the ground and stuff, so they're removed. The door and etc., the sliding door and all the surrounds have to be removed now today, so the boys can come in, and they have to put a base down first so that it'll level up the ground to be able to put in their shutters then. So we're going with I think a 5-foot high wall or something. We're kind of restricted with the height that we can go. It doesn't have to be as high as the external wall on the other side. It's just to make more use of that shed. It'll seal it off from the maternity shed. Yeah, and I'll give credit where it's due. Ellen's idea. Clive is obliging us getting that done. Yeah, it's continuing wet. Surprise, surprise. But look, the progress is so fantastic on the shed. We are just ignoring the rain at the moment, letting the cows out, half them, day and night, and they're content, very content. I went to get the cows in this morning there, and they were all lying up in the lime kill. You know, they'd been out for 24 hours. They're out yesterday, and I just let them on off yesterday evening there onto a fresh break of grass because the yard was so busy and just all over the place trying to get them in milking. So yeah, they were super happy and content, which is ideal. Our bales of silage that we're feeding now have changed. The real high dry matter haylage base or type silage bales that we were feeding here in the yard, used the last of them yesterday. So we are on to the higher quality, slightly lower dry matter, not much now, bales that were up in paddies, just in the feed passage up in paddies. So brought home 6 of them yesterday. There's another 12 left up there, so there's bales there for a couple of days, and then we will be getting the shear grab going, if not this afternoon, definitely tomorrow morning, and we will be stripping off the side of our pit silage that was left from last year. There's a bit of waste there, obviously where the cover was left cut. That's something we'll show you in the video later on when we're cleaning that off. There'll be a small little bit of waste, but shouldn't be a big issue, and we'll be in onto pit silage. We'll see how we go. We also had a very interesting update on our Duetz yesterday evening. the high pack is back in and the tractor has been reassembled. They were putting the tyres on it yesterday evening, putting the wheels and the tyres back on it yesterday evening, and it is going to be tested, driven around, etc. today. And then there's a couple of other little jobs. We were getting a set of LED lights on the front, and they were sorting out whatever had to be checked with the seat, the air seat, the fuse gone or a loose wire or something. But anyway, the very surprising news was that somebody had been at the Duetz before, replacing the high pack or the bearings or whatever is in there, in the housing, in the gearbox, and instead of doing a proper job and completely almost disassembling the tractor, cab off, wheels off, cab off, splitting her in half that way, they split the tractor from the front and basically just pushed the bearings that were damaged to one side and left them in there, and then replaced what needed to be replaced and stuck the tractor back together. So when Nate's Farm Machinery completely split the tractor properly, they found all these freewheeling bearings all in the back end of the tractor. So first of all, delighted that the job has been done right and that it's been done properly, and fingers crossed we will have very, very little issues with it again in the future. And second of all, what the hell? Just absolute insanity of that. Like, could have been so much worse. But anyway, also we will possibly have it back Thursday or Friday, which is fantastic. The stars are aligning super rapidly at the moment. Joe is on cloud freaking 9. Energy levels are all over the shop. We're just, yeah, it's a rapidly changing environment and building site at the moment, but the stars are aligning fantastically. So a few phone calls to make this morning to get a few other services on site ASAP, so we can keep pushing on and yeah, get our cows in. I think Ellen mentioned it there yesterday, and I'll say it again this morning. The speed at which Rowan and Kelly Farm Services are installing the cubicles, etc., is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I did have a notion for about 30 seconds that we would do the cubicles and stuff ourselves, but as Ronan said to me, his lads have a system, they know what they're doing, and the speed at which the stuff has been done and the quality of installation, etc., is absolutely fantastic. So, oh, we are driving it on. So we're over here at Gordon Hegarty's in Tullow. We're going getting hopefully slurry fittings that'll fit down into our 6-inch sewage pipe that's running along the tank, as I explained in the video this morning, to help with agitation and stuff. So we were in Carlow, we dropped off Ellen's car, got a manhole cover in Chadwick's, and here we are now getting the last piece of the jigsaw to get them back to life.
Why could you not get it in Quinn's, the manhole?
They'd only have little light ones. This thing can carry a weight of 45 tonnes. So
oh, for the tractor. Very
for
good.
the tractor and the wagon driving over it.
Do you need to ask for help, or do you know what you're
Yeah, I'll ask for help now. How are you?
No bother. Yourself?
I'm okay.
Would be good.
I was talking to one of your colleagues the other day, and I was WhatsApping a picture at the top of my agitator, which I did yesterday. Anyway, what I'm doing is, we have a big long tank, 110 foot. We have a 6-inch sewage pipe running from beside the agitation point halfway down the tank and into the wall. So I want to be able to pump slurry out the top of my agitator into the 6-inch sewage pipe and halfway down into the tank to help with agitation because it's so long. So this is the top of my agitator. I need something to go into the 6-inch sewage pipe that we can set in concrete, cover with a manhole cover, and then I'll attach a pipe down onto it. We'll have it all sealed. And fresh break for Honey and the heifers. We're down to the last stretch now. There's only one more break after this, down there where them fir bushes are. Somewhere, oh, mind the finger, somewhere down there where my finger blotted. What have we got left for them then? The paddock where the crush is, just the far side of the lane that they were on. So trying to stretch it out for, I don't know, today is Wednesday. If we could get it to next Monday or Tuesday, I think we'll be going real well. Squiggles, Myrna's heifer, looking good. There's Drake. Growing a bit, aren't you, Drakey? And I've just noticed this Drake has a line of warts. See there in from his, just under his leg, you know, on his midline. Let's check them out when he's in the crush next. There's Blue Blue. Looking at Blue Blue in the fields, you'd think that he's not getting any bigger, but he is growing away. We can't have to get him across the scales and see what way he's going. I don't know how much milk Honey has these days. There's Willie, the Yahoo, Willie Arwego for the freezer. Like Honey is, she's in good order. Big pregnant belly on her now at this age. Her udder does look very slack most of the time. So he's either sweeping it all as soon as she has any milk, or she hasn't got a whole lot. Probably not suiting her being here pushed hard with the in-calf heifers. So when they're finished this break and the next one, and we get them up into the paddock across the lane with the crush on it, my plan is to pull Honey and Blue and possibly Willie here, because he's next in line for the freezer. Pull them out and we'll get them in the field across the road and up their meal intakes, just to keep the condition on Honey and also to try and get Blue on board with taking some meal. Obviously now trying to compete at the trough with the rest of the heifers, just not happening. He runs around the outside, gets awfully excited but does nothing. So yeah, that's our plan. This time last year, or probably a little bit earlier, we had Honey and Patch at the time, and Willie, he was still here. There was someone else. Oh, probably Waylon. He was probably out there too. We had them drafted out and they were the far side of the road, getting meal on their own, and we got Patch on board with eating some meal, and it really crowned him, pushed him on then till he was sold in whatever it was, March or April. So Blue is just at that phase now. He needs meal. It's obviously grass dry matter is very, very low, and as I said, Honey's udder is looking overly slack a lot of time now. So yeah, he needs another source of nutrients. So we'll get him in onto the meal, get him trained up onto that, push him on. That's our plan. Heading to paddies now. We've two loads of bales left to draw down before we strip off the pit, as I said this morning. Going to get a load of bales now. We'll head back to the yard and see and get our cows in around the construction site and get them milked this evening. Progress is bursting on. The boys moved the pounds around. They're pouring more walls in the calf shed. Clive is busy prepping then either end of the shed, either gable end of the shed, for concrete tomorrow, first thing tomorrow morning. So that'll be massive getting all that stuff done. Right on. So in Gordon Hegarty's today, myself and Ellen got this 6-inch male end, it's called, that's tech screwed into the 6-inch sewage pipe. So we'll be agitating in the point here, and with our top fill agitator we can let it out of the top, connect the pipe down onto this, and then it'll blow along here straight down and into the middle of the tank. Super idea by Clive. Yeah, so the boys are working on the far side of the shed down there now, getting that ready for concrete tomorrow morning. and I think then here Thursday, I think, and more walls in the cache shed. Progress. Our water trucks are in place. We looked at different types of water trucks, the tip over ones, etc., but found this to be the simplest. As you can see there, massive big open and close shut off valve. Just open that, it'll empty out in jig time. So obviously installed by Ronan Kelly Farm Services, and they're doing all the plumbing on the bottom as well. So an inch pipe, it's the blue lad that's carrying the water from the well, and then there's a 3/4 inch pipe is going to go up to the truck. And the same one over there as well.
We will see you back on Saturday for another episode. Hopefully we will have our Duetz Fire tractor back. Maybe the cows in the shed, although the electrician still hasn't turned up, so that's a bit up in the air. We're fast running out of grass. It's all go. The calf shed at this stage will probably be ready before the cow shed. It's absolutely motoring on, driving on, as Joe would say. So we'll see you on Saturday. Like, share, subscribe and hype.